The advanced technology you need to transform your business is available now from VDB.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar. I'm Tanya Niskoretsky, CEO and co-founder of the Virtual Diamond Boutique. And before we get started, I would like to take 2 minutes to give you an overview of why VDB was created. Virtual Diamond Boutique was created by myself and other industry veterans that have been in the retail and wholesale sectors for decades. We felt that the current marketplace options available to us were outdated and did not sufficiently assist retailers and suppliers to survive and thrive in today's times. Our goal is to bring easy-to-use, interactive, and visually appealing technology that modernizes the way we buy and sell in both B2B and B2C channels. We're not just a marketplace, we are also a technology company that offers solutions for retailers and suppliers. From in-store sales tools to online digital options, we partner with the industry and build applications for the jewelry industry needs. I thank you for taking the time to get to know VDB, and I am personally always available to listen to those that wish to connect with me. Have a blessed and safe day, and most importantly, take care of yourselves and your loved ones during this time. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Karen Knox. I'm the Director of Vendor Relations at VDB. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, I'm going to be going through ways to grow your business with VDB. We realized this was short notice setting up this webinar, and we really thank you for choosing to sign up and listen to me. I hope you have your cup of coffee. I will try to be entertaining as much as possible and allowed. So we're going to be going through ways to grow your business. I'm going to talk about that, and at the end we'll have a Q&A session. Please right now go ahead and check. You should have a chat box on the right side of your screen at the bottom right. Not at the bottom right, it might be at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to write any questions you have, and then at the end I'll be able to go through those and answer those. And honestly, that's the best part of doing this. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Great. So I noticed that some of you are already customers of mine, so thank you so much for joining and listening. I love it. I love the support. For those of you who are not already with VDB, I hope this convinces you this is obviously the right place. And let's just talk a little bit about VDB. So we do have over 18,000 members. I've gotten a lot of questions about that in the past week, especially. So I do want to share that. We are a technology company, okay? So I hear a lot about this platform, that platform. I think it's really important when you're thinking about where you want to be, how you want to grow your business moving forward. Do you want to partner with a tech company that is agile, that is customer responsive, and that also has four platforms? So some of you I know are from different segments. So some of you specialize in mine diamonds. I saw a couple of you who are in lab-grown diamonds. Where are my gemstone suppliers? I'll be calling you later and asking where you are. So I saw gemstones, and of course we also have jewelry. So we do have 4 separate platforms. And, you know, I'll be honest, I had a friend of mine in India ask me, why don't you just specialize in diamonds and just focus on that? And that is where we started. I mean, the founders of the company were in the diamond industry, are in the diamond industry. They know it well, and decided this was a way to better move the industry forward. Thank goodness. So we do have the 4 platforms, but you know why I think that's so important is because, let's go to the next slide here. It's catered to the industry needs. And this is what I love about VDB. I love that we are responsive. I love that, you know, when we recognize that there's a need from our retailers or our suppliers, we are responsive to that. And when you're looking at how we, you know, how we can best bring value if you know that your buyers are not just looking for a mined diamond, that they're also looking for gemstones, they're also looking for jewelry, maybe they're also looking for lab-grown diamonds. Why not have that in one place? I mean, the idea is that you want to make it easier on buyers. And that's why, you know, I think we tend to be very retail focused, and that's actually to your benefit. Obviously, if we help buyers access you more easily, that's a win-win, right? So very important for you. You know, we are all about listening to feedback from customers. This is one of the things I love about this company. It makes my job a lot easier. If I'm getting feedback from suppliers, I like that I can immediately reach out to our CEO, Tanya, or CTO, Elliot. Maybe I just submit a ticket and say, hey, this is what we need. But we go through all of those requests, and I think that's fantastic. And I love seeing what customers' requests come to fruition and show up in our app or in our web app. It's great. Our job is to make things easier for our customers. So we do have a very easy and intuitive search. Let's take a peek. For those of you who have maybe only downloaded the app, you can take a look. This is an opportunity for you to see what our web app looks like. Quick thing on that, there's sometimes confusion about web app or the mobile, I have the app, or on the website. So if you're accessing VDB on your desktop, laptop, that is the web app. And then the mobile app is what you use to access VDB for our on our mobile app, right? So you'll notice there is a different look and feel to the web and mobile. So today I want to focus on the web app and how that looks, because I think it's important for suppliers to see that. We are very retailer focused. So I think we do a lot of showing, you know, how it's going to look to the end consumer when a retailer is showing it off. But I want to show you also what it's like when you're at the office and you're sourcing, or you want to look and see what your goods look like. How do you do that? And so we'll be taking a look here. I do think this is extremely intuitive. Take a look here. You will see that we have all 4 platforms. The search, again, it's very visual. Gemstones will be coming soon. By the way, gemstones and jewelry will have new versions launched by May. So you will see gemstones here, but the look on both the web and mobile apps will be different. So I'm super excited. If by chance any of you have any feedback about jewelry or gemstones, please give it to me. I'd love to see if we can implement that in the next launch, if that's not feedback we've already received. So we have our diamonds, we have our jewelry search, and we also have lab grown. And so for any of you who might be concerned about how will we know the difference, what if they get confused, we make sure that it's very, very easy for you to know which you're using. So we have this pop-up here that comes up when you're sourcing lab-grown diamonds. It's very obvious, and you see the color change throughout the search criteria. So I'm going to go back to diamonds. But again, very intuitive search. For those of you who will ask me, so my current customers, how can I see my inventory? You're going to do that by typing in your supplier name. So I'm going to give kudos to one of my advertisers here, and you can see Isaac Davidovitz comes up. You can search there. So let's see, obviously we have MID and lots of locations. Yeah, so we have this search capability here for supplier. Don't think your inventory is hidden. It's absolutely not. It's very easy to find. We also have search by report number up here. We make searching by color very easy. I think most of you are probably familiar with how this looks, so I don't want to go into too much detail or bore you. I do love what we do with color, by the way, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about that. And I'll speak a little bit more about color later on at the end. So I think, again, we have such an intuitive interface that makes it so easy to source. One of the things let's see here. So let's do a quick search. I want you to see here how this is our image view, right? Our grid view. So everyone probably knows who already lists with us that our ranking for our items goes from image and video, image only, video only, to neither. And then within each category, items are ranked by price per carat, lowest first. So now that we really are looking to how we can better work with our suppliers, we have ListView enhancements, which in the ListView enhancements that we just released, you'll see that you have your results here. You still have your favorite functionality. We can talk about that shortly. So here, the rankings are purely based on price per carat. Whether or not you have an image or video is not important. Excuse me. That only impacts this view. Okay. So again, very easy, intuitive, and I hope you'll agree. The other thing that we want to go through is markup for traders. So here's a great feature that, I think we really thought about for retail. It's obvious. Retailers are going to want to share these items with a consumer who is in their store, and they're going to want to mark it up. So how do we do that? So let's move me. So it shows you here. So it's white mode, green mode, and orange mode. Okay, so we have the 25% markup indicated. We now see the inventory has increased in price from original to 25%. We can click on the item and conveniently share this item without any vendor information by putting in your customer's email and a message to them and send. We want to keep it very simple for you. Very handy tool that is not just for retailers. Also, you see here that we have a heart. So we have an option to favorite items, okay? Let's see here. Let's do this. Then I'm going to go over here to the heart. And what I can do is you'll see there's collections and favorites. So I have a request for a stone. I have a few different options. Maybe the one someone called on is no longer in stock. So what I would like to do is choose the ones I want to share with them. You can choose even, let's say you have someone looking for a stone and you want to share with them options that you have and someone else. You can always do that and not include the vendor information. As long as you're in this orange mode, it's not going to include vendor information. So you can always include a markup. Let's take a look here. If you want to go back to sharing your own inventory, then you can certainly go back into white mode, and the prices will be updated accordingly to the original price. So you can go here, create a new collection or add to a collection. So if someone's looking for a specific stone, you want to send the options. You simply click the items that you would like to add and drag them over. You can create a new collection, or you could simply drag to an existing collection if you want. So let's take a look here. You can edit this, put in the name of the customer, whatever suits you. And then you can go over here and you can share. So you can list your customer's email, any message you would like to share with them, and it's a great way to let them know that you have quite a few options for them. And it will all be stored because you have it here in favorites and collections. So let's say that you have a request for a stone, right? Super exciting. You're going to come here, and this is where you'll see notifications. So for any of you who are existing customers, it's important that you know where this is if you don't already. This is where, again, you're going to see any buy memo hold request. For any newer suppliers, so I saw a couple of you who just joined us. That's great. This is where, as soon as you have inventory up, I'm going to send you a test notification. That's what a lot of these are test notifications. I want to make sure that they're working. So you're going to receive a notification at the email that you've indicated. You'll receive it on the app. So whether you have it on the mobile app or you have it here open on your desktop. And then you'll also see it in VIMS. VIMS is our backend system. So I may do a training to share at a later date. If you have any questions about our backend system, the virtual inventory management system, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. So again, very important, the notifications are here, and we have in-app messaging. So I requested this stone. We see it's pending. Jose has not told me no yet. So I'm going to go here, and I've already left a note earlier. Please let me know if this is available so you can have a complete conversation with your customer here inside the app and track it. And this will also show up in the backend system VIMS. You'll be able to see your request and click on the request and see your conversation that you had with your customer. So let's go back here. I want to make sure that you know how to look for pairs. So you see here, this is I've just chosen an item at random, information. Here's the matching pairs feature. So what'll happen is we're automatically pulling a matched item from our entire database. We do start with your own. So whichever supplier you're searching, we will first find a matched item from that supplier's inventory. Once we've exhausted that supplier's inventory, then we'll go on and look outside to other suppliers on VDB. But you see, I was searching for GN, and then I found an item that was from GN right away. The next one was from Cooperman Brothers. So it does vary. Next one, GN. Really, really cool feature. So please remember we have that as well. One of the things that has come up a lot over this past week is obviously people want to use the platform in a way that they're used to using. So for a lot of people, that's going to mean they're going to look at ListView. So ListView is really important. We have made some enhancements. I believe I already mentioned in the past, if you're looking at the image view, results are ranked by image and video, image only, video only, no image and video. So for the list view, we have updated this to not be impacted as to whether or not you have an image or video. It is purely ranked on price per carat. You'll see for now, we don't offer any discount information. So that's not an error, that's not a glitch. We just currently have chosen not to include that information here. Excuse me. So the last thing I have for you is that really important item. It's free to source on VDB. Your buyers do not have to spend a dime to search for your inventory on our platform. This is so important. So we charge listing fees, yes. The reason being is that we do not charge buyers to source on our platform. This is huge for you. This is not something that we're just offering. This is something that we've been doing. This is something that we plan to continue doing. This is an inherent part of our business model. We believe in providing the best value to our suppliers. We're here to support retailers, and we really think this is the best way to do that. So sorry, excuse me. So when we're talking about how we support our suppliers, I want you to remember that 6 months from now, a year from now, it's going to continue to be free to source on VDB. So you can send your suppliers to us, and again, it's not going to cost them anything. What a great way to get buyers to the platform to source for your inventory. And then why list with VDB? So beyond the fact that we make it free for retailers to use the platform, source, and buy your inventory, we do a heck of a job with retailer outreach. This is something that I was really impressed with when I first came to the company. We do so much training and support. So we attend a lot of trade shows. We try to be very active within organizations. We want retailers to know how to use VDB. And it's so important because as our retailers know how to use VDB and source on VDB, it means that they're better able to buy your inventory. Besides the fact we facilitate easier purchasing, we are an in-store sales tool. So this is something I definitely speak on. Some of my current customers who are on this call could probably vouch for this. I talk about how awesome it is that while you're sitting in your office, there are retailers all over the US and abroad who can get their iPad out in their store with VDB and share that with the customer, and the customer can actually source and look at your inventory while they're waiting maybe on one of the salespeople in the store to become available. They can do that because of the modes that I showed you, where they can look without pricing and vendor information, or they're looking without vendor information and with a markup. They can actually play with the app, and I think that's one of the really cool things that we offer. When I first started at VDB and my family was asking me about using VDB, what is it? Who do you work for? I just handed over the app and said, this is what I do. And it was really fun getting to see how they engaged with the app and how much they enjoyed it. So this is a great selling point. I've gone over how the app helps you as a supplier, how it helps traders to do business, and how it helps retailers source from you. One of the other things that we do besides having in-store sales tool is that we do offer the APIs. This is a great way for you to have your inventory available on a retailer's website. So again, you can have people all over the world buying your inventory without you lifting a finger, truly. And then the last thing is our buying groups. We are the official platforms for both CBG and RJO. We also have a lovely arrangement with the NCDIA. So you can see that the NCDIA, for those of you who do not know what it is the Natural Color Diamond Associations. Let me show you those buying groups quickly. So on the app, you would see your name and the buying groups come up. And on here, on the desktop, you see the white mode, green mode, and orange mode. You can close that. And you see here, we have CBG, RJO, NCDIA should have their own shortly, but it's a really cool thing. Let's pull up an NCDIA supplier quickly. So Kunming is based out of Hong Kong. They're members of NCDIA. You can see we have the NCDIA logo there. And in the ListView, you'll also see the NCDIA logo over here. So you know that any of these stones are not treated. They are all natural, untreated color stones. So excellent. You know, we, again, having multi-platform site is a huge benefit to our suppliers because it enables your retailers to conveniently search for your inventory while sourcing for the rest of their needs. And that's the best way to keep them engaged. We do offer white labeling services. We do B2B web and mobile app. Please let me know if you have any questions about this. Some of you may have seen the recent Jewelers for Children auction app that we created for them. And we just had the VDB Expo running. VDB Expo is very cool. It is an online trade show. The one that we've had running since yesterday is with AWDC and the IDI. So it is a great way for us to do business virtually. I want to thank all of you for listening. It was great to have you. And now I am very excited to answer any questions you may have. So I got a question here. What is white labeling for suppliers? So the white labeling means that VDB uses their technology to create a product for you with your name on it. So it's yours. So we create, we do web and mobile apps. That was one of the things I referenced just now. So for example, one of the recent ones, New Rock did a web app for them. Dyson's has a web and mobile app. So you can go to their website or you could go to the App Store and look for Dyson's. And it's under Dyson's, but then you'll see when you open it up, certainly on the website, you'll see that there it says powered by VDB. So it's our technology, but it is yours. It's your product. You own it. And it's an excellent tool for you to use. You know, the cool thing when you think about why us, why would you need VDB to do that for you is the fact that you see how intuitive our search is. So in the white label products, we're able to make sure that all the menu, everything is catered to what you want and what you need. So again, excellent tool, and I would be glad to speak to you about it further afterwards. Any other specific questions about white labeling or anything else that came up? Let's see here. So white labeling, the pricing starts at, so what we do is we have a setup fee and then it's a SaaS product. So we do charge an annual maintenance fee, and the pricing starts at $2,500 for our most basic web or mobile app. Let's see what else we have here. So I had a quick question. How much does it cost to upload inventory? Great. So our listing fees are based on your inventory level, not on your stone count. They start as little as $120 for up to $100,000 in inventory and go up to $900 for over 10 million of inventory. And let's see, sorry, just going through more questions here. I think I missed a couple. Okay, I just addressed pricing structure, white labeling. Will you be doing this webinar again in the near future? Yes, I hope that your feedback is good enough that you'll have me do more webinars. I would love to. That would be great. So please let me know what topics, what things you would like to have me speak on. I will be glad to do it. I said I'm here to support you guys. I'm here to support suppliers. And we're responsive, so I mean it. Give me your feedback. Okay, question on collections. Right. So the collections are when you are looking on the, when you're looking at the web app and you see on the left, you see the hearts. If you go to the hearts, you'll see it has collections and it has favorites. So anything you heart is a favorite. And then you can choose those favorites and drag that into a collection. And you can name different collections according to, you know, the person who's interested in that item. Let's see. Explain API function. So the API function is pretty straightforward. If you mean, so there are a couple different things when you talk about API. So what we do with retailers who are requesting a supplier's API, there's a place in the backend system. It'll say API request in VIMs, which I mentioned earlier. So in VIMs, you would be able to see any requests that you have. We make it very simple. You would see the customer's name, and it's very simple, a thumbs up or a thumbs down. There's an I next to the thumbs up and thumbs down. You can click the I, and then another screen will open up, and then that will allow you to see the information about the person making the request, their email, phone number, full name, more company information. And, you know, we encourage you to then reach out. You know, if you already know the person and you're comfortable sharing your API, that's wonderful. By all means, please do that. But this brings up a really important point. I like to say that we're a matchmaker, but we're not on the date. So when we try to put people together and help facilitate business between people, we are facilitating. We're not doing the business for you. We're not actually selling the item. So, you know, it's all about connecting the both of you. And, you know, we do our best to do that, but ultimately you two need to have a conversation. So when, you know, you see a request from a retailer, please, if you can, reach out to the retailer if they haven't called you first. This is a wonderful way to make new connections. When I was at RJO in January, one of the great comments that I got from one of our suppliers is that they loved that they had, you know, created new relationships, and it wasn't just transactional with us, that they felt like they had people who were coming and giving them repeat business. And that's really what relationships are all about. So again, when you see these API requests, don't just do the thumbs up, thumbs down. If possible, reach out if the jeweler hasn't already, and, you know, create that relationship, because that's ultimately where you're going to see the most value in this product. Let's see. I think I missed a couple. Just a second. Okay. Here we are. If free to retailer, how do you qualify them? So that's another question I got just yesterday, and also the day before, as we're bringing on new suppliers. It's a great question. So we are strictly for the industry. We are not for privates. You know, when we get new user requests, it's really important that we verify that they are within the industry. If it's an email that's within the industry, you know, we do our best to confirm with the appropriate people with that company that they represent the company, you know, that they're authorized to join VDB on that company's behalf. So yes, we do vetting. You know, I would encourage you, if ever you feel that you were not pleased with an interaction you had with a buyer, by all means, do feel free to reach out to me. Nothing is 100% or perfect, but we do take it very seriously. This is strictly for the industry. Let me go through any other questions. Okay, hopefully the sound is good. Patty, thank you so much for your nice note. I appreciate that. So the inventory that you upload on VDB, can you upload it to B2C websites? Another great question. So it depends. if you're listing something on a B2C website, there should not be any reason at all listing with VDB, okay? We are a B2B site. So again, there should be no issue. What you would want to be mindful of is whether or not you want to share your API on VDB. So that's something that you would need to decide if that makes sense, if that would be compliant. But yes, if you have inventory on a B2C site, you absolutely should be able to put it on VDB. We are only B2B. Okay, question from Donna. When showing a stone to a retail customer, is there a way to block the GIA report number? So I wanted to take a look at that because ideally when, what'll happen is when you're sharing an API request, if you go into the inventory management system that I mentioned and you go to API request, next to the thumbs up or thumbs down, there actually is a little toggle there where you can choose to share the reports or not. So that's up to you as the supplier. And if you have any questions about that, of course, let me know. Let's see, Phil. How do you upload inventory? So that's something that you can do in the backend system. So the process for joining VDB is really simple. We require a KYC business license and a photo ID. The KYC is a Know Your Customer form for those of you who don't already know. And we understand most of us aren't at our office right now, so it's hard to get these documentation, to us. Where possible, we are allowing you to confirm your information that you use to register with VDB. For the moment, let us vet you and make sure you're a part of the industry, and we'll go ahead and accept you, and then we'll follow up later for those documents. So you would choose the inventory level that's appropriate. We would send you an invoice. After the invoice is paid, me or someone else on the team will be reaching out to you with your credentials to upload. You can upload via FTP or, like I said, in our backend system, and I'll be giving you those credentials and following up with you to make sure that you know how to use the system. It's very simple. It's a CSV file. It's not unlike what's used on other platforms. And if you have any questions about how that would work, you're always welcome to send us a file. We can take a look at it and see if we need to do any special mapping, if we just need you to tweak a header to something like that. That's no problem. We can do that before you actually upload and get started and try to go live. Someone said they're not able to listen. Let's see. Hopefully they're able to turn the sound on. Okay, thanks. Sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Clifford, you wrote not just interaction, but public ability to outprice a retailer. I think you're referencing the ability, to access this information by the public, and they cannot. Again, we vet our supplier and our retailers alike. So we make sure that buyers are a part of the industry. How can retailers find you on VDB? That was from Raphael. Again, they can find you by going to the search and typing in the supplier name. We really do try to make it pretty straightforward. As someone's typing your name, it should start to pre-fill as you're typing. It'll, again, fill in if it's Raphael, RAF, it should start showing you all those options. So I think it's pretty simple. And then for just FYI, for advertisers, you see that on the web app there's a banner up top. For those of you who advertise with us, if you have someone click on the banner, that will go directly to your inventory. So I'm also trying to think of other ways that I can help our suppliers and how we could better help you provide your direct information to your buyer so they can find you on VDB. So stay tuned. If you have input, by all means, please share it. The inventory that you upload, can we ever upload it on other B2C websites? I think I addressed that in a different way. How can retailers find us? How do we upload inventory? Let's see. So from Joseph, I see the question, if you want to open new doors with new stores through the platform, how would you advise doing that? So I would definitely let them know that you're on VDB. Again, because it's such a great sales tool for them. If you're talking about retailers who are already on VDB, that's something that, I'm happy to talk about one-on-one, like, what's your idea? What's your target? How do you want to reach out to them? Are you a member of a buying group? I mentioned that we offer the buying group CPG and RJO, and that's something that you could see. If you're a member of that group, you can actually choose CPG and RJO. Obviously, those are a great way to connect with retailers. On that note, I want to add really quickly that because we are the official platform for CPG and RJO, we give our suppliers who aren't members exposure, because if by chance they can't find a stone when they're looking within these groups, they can access VDB as a whole and search that way. So it does give you exposure to create relationships with retailers you wouldn't have normally. Because we do such extensive outreach with retailers, I think your presence on the platform is really important in helping you gain that exposure. But again, if there are specific things you're looking at in terms of jewelers for a specific region, specific things that you'd like to discuss with me, please let me know. My email is here, and you'll be able to reach out to me directly, and I'm happy to have a discussion with you on it. Let's see. Can inventory be added to my current inventory from another supplier or account? So regarding sharing other inventory, this is something that you would have to, like with all API requests, you would have to reach out to that supplier and give a reason that you would want to do that. I mean, it could be that you have your own curated inventory and you'd like to share that. You would have to ask that other supplier. What we don't allow is for you to list another supplier's inventory, a supplier you work with, for example, and you don't have that inventory in your possession, you don't own it anymore, it's technically theirs. We would not allow you to list that. We do not allow duplicate inventory on the platform at all. And that's even amongst sister companies. We do not have duplicate inventory. It's triggered and it would be flagged for removal. So we do try to be strict about that. But in terms of, if you have a website and you wanted to share suppliers' goods in addition to your own, of course, that's something that you can do. It just has to be approved, obviously, by that supplier. Colored stones, search requires filtering, heated, treated, or not. So, okay, this is a question from Phil regarding colored stones. So with colored stones, we will be adding enhanced features. Thank you, Phil. I would love to connect with you after this. I understand that there's different treatments based on stones. I actually had a call with Oren at IMCO just last week talking about things that we could do to enhance and not just have treatment as a yes or no option, because it does vary. Minor oil, no oil, that kind of thing. So again, gemstones will be launched on the web, and it will be an enhanced version that you'll find on the web and on the mobile app by May. So look out for that. And again, any input you have in the meantime, please let me know. Let's see. Let me go through other questions. Mitesh, I don't quite understand your question. If you'd like to connect with me after, I'd like to get more information about that regarding how to cancel goods if they're elsewhere. So let's discuss. Deval, you said you have many offices with different names and locations included. So what we would do is we would set up, even though you're operating under different names, what we would do is have a parent company and then have different branch offices so that the inventory shows up at the various offices. Whether or not it's at one location and not the other is for you to manage, but we are able to set up a parent company with branches, even with different names. So just let me know about that, and I'm happy to work it out with you. Let's see, I think Deval was the last one. Let's see, Kevin in Canada. Let's see. Can you find out what retailers in a specific country are on VDB or how many are somewhere target and make them aware that we're suppliers on VDB? So Kevin, let's talk about that. Kevin is a supplier in Canada, AGS member. So yeah, I think we can definitely talk about what retail presence we have in Canada and work with you on that. And so that's what I'm saying. If any of you have specific questions about ways that you want to reach out to your region, your country, in Kevin's case, then absolutely let me know and we'll work on that together. It's all about promotion. I think, by your promoting that you're on VDB, you're also making retailers who may not already be on VDB aware of an excellent sales tool that they hadn't realized before. Let's see. So James in Belgium asked, should each branch create their own account? That's up to you. In your case, I don't believe they need to. But yeah, let's talk about that on a individual basis. It's really up to you as suppliers to decide how you want to manage the business, if it's better for you to have your branches operate independently, or if it's easier for you to have a parent company with the various branches. Again, and I see it vary quite a bit by supplier. So let's talk about that on an individual basis. How do we list colored diamonds? So this is from Vidi Patel. You can list colored diamonds, which are treated. You'll notice that when you're looking at the search page, that we have treatments at the bottom right for mine diamonds. So please take a look at that and you can choose the treatment type. So that's an important thing to bear in mind. Treated stones will not come up unless you actually go and choose to view treated stones, okay? We wanted to make sure there wasn't any confusion when someone's looking for a stone, especially, look, we want to make sure that when a retailer's in front of the end client that it's a very smooth process. So if a client wouldn't be comfortable necessarily with the treated, or they want to look at the pricing of an untreated stone first and then have an educational discussion with the buyer about why you might want to consider a treated stone, then they can do that. But we just wanted to make sure it's very easy and foolproof. That's why we make sure it's very clear when you go from mine diamonds to lab grown diamonds. So Vidi asked, if a stone is on Memo to a client, will that be automatically marked on VDB website? So this is completely up to the supplier and their software, their inventory management. If you have a stone that is out on, like you get a memo request within the app, it's up to you whether or not you want to accept that memo request, and then if your software is updated. So I think it's really important to bear in mind how quick and responsive your system is to any requests that you receive from VDB. And Vidi, if you would like, I'm happy to discuss that with you offline as well. Can one log in? Let's see. So have multiple logins. So can one login allow multiple logins? Okay, got it. So for the app, you can have multiple. There really is no reason, to access the app, to just register for the app. We want you to have your sales team, everyone have access to the app, so that makes it easier for them to do business. Think about it. Your salespeople can take their phone with them, go to a retail chain to sell without having all the inventory. You're cutting down on your insurance costs, risk, and I just see that as a win-win. So please, by all means, have people register for the app under their own names. One reason that's also important is, when you have turnover or change in your staff, it's much easier for us to track what's going on there and deactivate a user. That's something that you can also manage in the backend system. But I find that our suppliers end up coming to me for help with that. So by all means, and in terms of the backend system, we allow several users for the backend system. I haven't ever had that be a problem. You can use, the way the app works, one thing is you could have an email and a different username. So let's say that it's sales@tashe.com. So multiple people could access sales, but they actually could have individual logins on the app. It could be James has James as a username, whatever it is, and then someone else on the sales team has a different username, but they're all accessing sales@tashe.com. So how are we different from Polygon? Okay, so I think that for one, we offer all 4 platforms. I think you just saw the search, which is vastly different. The way that you can source, and also we're really a retail sales tool. That's why I started off talking about how important it is that we're a technology company. The other platforms don't offer a sales tool feature like we do. How I talked about when I started my job and my family asked, "What are you doing?" And I literally handed them the iPad and said, "Here, play with it." And the fact that we are able to service the industry from the supplier all the way down to the end consumer and meet your needs at every step, I think is tremendous. And again, the fact we're a technology company makes us much more agile to address the needs of each of you at every part of the pipeline as it evolves. Hugely important. We're here for your feedback. So when you talk about how are we different, I think the bigger question might be, is there a similarity? We offer gemstones. I know Polygon offers more than just gemstones, but wow, the technology features that we have, we're just different. I think the fact that I talk about us as a technology company really separates us from other platforms, and the idea that we are more of a tool for you to use. And that allows you to use us in a way that you can't use other platforms. It allows you to grow with us in a way that you can't with other platforms. And we have an incredible staff who's so responsive, besides myself, of course. But I think it's important, again, to think about how you want to partner with people in the industry as you move your business forward. Do you want to work with a technology company that can respond to your needs? Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, and we're visual. So again, if you're looking at the search, it's visual. I feel like that's obvious. Thank you so much, our little helper. All right, was that it? I think we are at an hour almost. Let's see, I thought I saw someone typing. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone joining. I would love to do this again. Please let me know if you have specific topics that you would like me to talk about. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I love hearing your questions, and I really am here for you for offline discussion. Please reach out to me. I really want to help you grow your business. I mean it. VDB is here for you. I really appreciate everyone's participation. Thank you.